am going to teach Signals and Systems course. Signals and Systems. And the topic I am going to cover is convolution sum. Convolution sum. Before discussing this convolution sum, first I will discuss discrete time signal representation. Discrete time signal representation in terms of discrete time unit impulses, because this is required for the discussion of this convolution sum. This is required that we should discuss how any arbitrary discrete time signal can be represented in terms of unit impulse signal, unit impulse or unit sample signal. Discrete time it is also called unit sample signal. So first we'll discuss how any arbitrary signal xn is represented in terms of discrete time unit impulse signal. Let this signal xn is any signal like 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. The discrete time signal, this xn, let us given xn value some, let us call this value some 1, this is 0, this is 2, this is 0.5, similarly this is 0.5, this value 1. So I have taken any arbitrary example of xn. How we can write this xn? Actually can we write this xn as value at this point, that is x0 plus value at this point, that is x1, that is value at this point x2, that is value at this point x3 and so on. This is what I am writing. What is the value at 0 when n is 0, when n is 1, what is the value when n is 2, what is the value when n is 3, what is the value of signal, that is signal at x0, at x1, x2 and so on. Similarly, for negative value of n we can write it is the value at x minus 1, it is the value at x minus 2 and so on. This is the representation of xn. We are graphically writing this value of xn like this, or we can write like this also. That means what it is, can we write this value, that is this value, similarly this value, we can write this value as this signal and impulse at that point. Can we write like this? We can write like this. Similarly for xn in general, for xn every term should be right like x1 and impulse at that point. We can write like this. Similarly, xn is represented in terms of unit impulse signal. Okay, so this we can utilize for defining convolution sum. Let this LTI system is there, LTI system. For LTI system, for the discrete time, we are talking for discrete time LTI system. If input is unit impulse signal, then this is the response, Hn. So what we call this Hn? It is a response corresponding to input unit impulse signal. So this Hn will call as impulse response, that is unit impulse response of the LTI system. We call HN as unit impulse response, unit impulse response of the LTI system. That means what? That we are giving input as unit impulse signal and we are getting the output. That output will call as unit impulse response of the LTI system. That means if we are giving delta n, let us call this transformation. This transformation is tau. System is defined as a transformation which transforms input to certain output. Let us define this transformation as tau. That means we are giving delta n is the input and this is the transformation tau and we are getting Sn is the output. That is the meaning. We can represent this like we are giving input as delta n and response is Hn. So this response is called unit impulse response of the LTI system. Because system is LTI, this system we are discussing is LTI. What LTI is saying that it is linear time invariant. That is what? It is time invariant system. If we shift the time here in input, in output also time will be shifted. That means if input is shifted by k number of samples, then the same system will give response h n minus k. That is there. Because it is linear also, so principle of scaling will be varied. That means if we multiply here by something, the same thing will multiply here. Let us multiply by a value constant k xk. This will be the same system. So this will be xk h n minus k. Now, if we sum over k varying minus infinity to infinity, it will hold good because it is an LTI system. It is an LTI system. So this summation is also valid. K minus infinity to infinity. I write here again. This thing, that is summation xk delta n minus k. If this is the input, then what response we are getting? Xk h n minus k. This k is varying from minus infinity to infinity. This k is varying from minus infinity to infinity. We have just represented any arbitrary signal xn can be represented like this. We have written this as, if this is xn, then we'll call this as yn. That means if any signal xn is represented in terms of unit impulse signal delta n, then the corresponding response will be in terms of this impulse response of the system. That means yn, that is the response of the system, is yn, and that is xk h n minus k, and the value of k will vary k minus infinity to infinity. So this is the response of the system or output of the system. That is input is xn, represented in terms of unit impulse signal. This is the value of the sample at every point of k varying from minus infinity to infinity. It will multiply by same this xk and unit in terms of unit impulse response of the system. System is of course taken as LTI. So this tau transformation is LTI system, and then this will be the output. So the response of the system or output will be yn, and in terms of unit impulse response of the system. This thing we are defining as convolution. It is a convolution because summation is used, that's why it is called convolution sum. It is the convolution sum. Convolution sum of signal xn and unit impulse response Hn of the system. That means it is like this LTI system, impulse response is Hn and input is Xn, then this is the output Yn and it is a convolution of Hn. This star indicates convolution. Star means convolution and summation is used, that's why this is called convolution sum. This is the convolution sum. So how the convolution sum is defined? That is Yn is input signal and unit impulse response. They are convolved, this convolution sum, and it is defined as xk Hn minus k minus infinity to infinity. Please note that this convolution is not a single operation like other mathematical operation like addition, subtraction, differentiation, integration. So they are single mathematical operation. But this convolution sum is not a single mathematical operation. What actually we are doing here, we are taking the first signal, we are taking the second signal, we are folding, then shifting by n, then multiplying, and then summing up. So this convolution sum involves 4 mathematical steps. Convolution sum involves 4 mathematical steps. Like if you are going to convolve Xn star Hn to get the output Yn, what you will do? First of all, replace Xn by Xk and Hn by Hk. This is the first step. And what other mathematical operations are involved? Four mathematical operations are involved in computation of convolution. What are the 4 steps? If you are replacing Xn by Xk, Hn by Hk, just you are changing the notation, and the first, what you are doing? First step, Hk is folded, that is folding of one signal, that is to obtain H minus K. For example, we are having Xk, we are having Hk, then one signal is folded, folding of one signal in time domain, that is Hk, we are having Hk, then after folding we will be getting H minus K. The second step, shifting of folded signal. This signal is folded, so this is shifted also, shifting of the folded signal by n, that is to obtain H n minus K. So this is the second step. In first step, what we are doing? We are folding one signal. You can take it because Xk or Hk, both are just notation, we can take any one. So one signal will fold. You can fold xk or you can fold hk. But here you have to note shifting of the folded signal. The signal which will be folded, that signal will be shifted to obtain is hn minus k. And third step is multiplication. Multiplication of this xk and hn minus k. So two signal, one first signal and other folded and shifted signal, these two will be getting multiplied. And the fourth step is summation. Summation over infinite range of k. That means summation over infinite range of k. That is what we are doing. We have already multiplied x, k, h, n minus k. So for this k minus infinity to infinity, we will do summation. And this is the value of this yn, calling as xn star hn. That is convolution sum. So what are the four steps involved here? Folding of one signal, shifting of that signal, multiplication with other signal, and summation. So this convolution sum, this convolution operation is not a single mathematical operation. It is the operation, these four operations involved here. It is a set of four operations: folding, shifting, multiplication, and summation. And that way it is defined as convolution. We'll take one example to understand this. We'll take one example and we'll find convolution sum. We'll take example. Okay. For example, it is given to you. For example, xn is given to us. Xn is equal to, for example, we'll take 2, 1. This is the xn signal. And hn is given, for example, 1, 2, 3. This is the signal where n is 0. Okay. This is at 0, this is at 1, this is at 0, that is 1, 2. Two signals are given to you. Okay. So this is just to understand that it is no need to write here. It is to understand this is at n equal to 0, 1, 2, n equal to 0 and 1. Okay. So we want to find convolution sum. That is, find convolution sum. Convolution sum xn star hn. This is our target. To find convolution sum of xn and hn. So our first aim is to replace by that xn by xk. So we'll write xk. Just we are changing the name of integer. That is 2, it is 1. And this is hk. That is 1, 2 and 3. What we are doing? First we are writing xk and then hk. xn as xk, hn as hk. Now one by one. So first one signal has to be folded, other will be as it is. So let us write this xk as it is and we'll fold this, shift this, then multiply. Okay. I am drawing xk. What is xk? At n equal to 0, at n equal to 1. Here it is, its value is 2 and this value is 1. This value is n. This is xn signal or xk signal. 2 and 1. This value at minus 1, 0. This value is 0 and so on. This is xk. Now we'll have hk. Here it will be k because n is replaced by here it is 1, here it is 2, and here it is 3. This value is 0, 1, this 2 where its value is 0, and minus 1 here its value is 0, and like that. So this is value at 0, value at 1, value at 2, value at 3, and so on. At 3 its value is 0. Similarly, minus 1, minus 2, and so on. So we have drawn all these 3 signals, all these 2 signals. Both the signals we have drawn. This signal is HK signal. This signal is HK signal. This signal is XK signal. Okay. The other next job is we have replaced N by K. What is the next job? HK should be folded. Anyone we can take folding and shifting. Anyone we can take. HK I am folding. After folding, what will be HK? See here. This is HK. After folding, here it will remain 1. Okay. Here it was 0. That will be 0. Here it was 0. That will be 0. 0, 1, 2. And here it is 2. So here it will be 2. That will be at minus 1. Here it is 3. This is 2. This is 3. At minus 2. Rest is 0. And so on. Okay. So now this signal is how? This signal is H minus K. We got XK and we got H minus K. So we have drawn XK and H minus K, and formula is to find Xn star Hn. What was the formula? That was summation K minus infinity to infinity Xk H n minus K. Let us this call as a Yn. So for every value of n, we will put here and we can get. For example, I am putting n is equal to 0. What that y0 will be? We will find y0. What y0 will be? Summation K minus infinity to infinity Xk and H minus K. That means shifting is 0 here. That we have to multiply Xk and Hk, and then we have to sum up. This value will be multiplied with this value. When we are multiplying two discrete time signals, corresponding value at the corresponding this time index will be multiplied. That is, at 0 here its value is 1 and here its value is 2. So these two will be multiplied. So 1 and 2, that is 2. Similarly, at minus 1 value, minus 1 will be multiplied. At minus 2 value, so see here it is 0. So that will be 0. Here, this will be multiplied with this. This will be multiplied with this. That means, again, 0. This will be multiplied with this. That is 2. This will be multiplied with this. That is 0. Now, rest are 0, 0. Just to understand better, I have taken the length of signal is xn of length 2, hn of length 3. This is a simple example to understand this. So what this value will be? This value is 2. That means when we are finding this output yn, so for corresponding to n is equal to 0, we got the value 2. Similarly, we want if you want y1 will shift by 1, k minus infinity to infinity xk h 1 minus k. That will be that. What that? That was n equal to 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. Earlier it was at minus 2 it was 3. Okay? That will come at here this value is 3, okay, it will be shifted one by one here. This value will be, I think it was 2, this value was 1, S 0, 0, 0 and so on. What will value now? Y1 at -1 it is 3, -1 is 0, this will be multiplied with this, we will be getting 0. This will be multiplied with this, we will be getting 4. This will be multiplied with this, we will be getting 1 and other 0. This will be 5. Similarly, what is the value of y2? Y2 will be sum k minus infinity to infinity x k h 2 minus k. Similarly, you can calculate. Now here it will be, this is k -2 -1 0. So earlier here h minus k, here it was 3, h 1 minus k, it was started from 1, and h is 2 minus k. So 2 minus k start from here. Here it will be 3, here it will be 2, here it will be 1, and that's 0. What this 2 minus k will be? We will multiply this into this, that is 6 plus this into this, that is 2 plus 0, that is 8. We got the value of y0, we got the value of y0, y1, y2, okay, it was 2, it is 5, it is 8. Similarly, if you want to find y3, but that y3 will be, again, if you want to find y3, y3 will be summation k minus infinity to infinity xk, and this is shifted by 3 now, hence 3 minus k. We will plot as 3 minus k. We will plot 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2 and so on. Okay, so it was started from -2 for hk, h minus k, h 2 minus k, this was h minus k, h 1 minus k, h 2 minus k, so this will be h 3 minus k, this h 3 minus k, this value will be 0, 0, 0, this will be 3, this will be 2, and this will be 1, and rest will be 0, 0. That means what will be this, and this will be multiplied, this is 0, this and this will be multiplied, that is 3, and rest is 0, that is its value is 3. So y3 calculated to be 3. Okay, now what will be there? If now it will shift in the next step as 4 minus k, so this will come here, it will give 0 value. That means if you get y4, that will be 0, y5 will be 0. Similarly, if you calculate y minus 1, that will come out to be 0. That means yn is what? 2, 5, 8, 3. This is the result. And you can see here carefully that what is the length of the result? That is length of yn is 4. In our case, length of xn was length of xn was 2. Length of Hn was 3. Let's call this length is N1, this length in general is N2. Okay, then length of Yn, which is convolution of Xn star Hn, and that will be N1 plus N2 minus 1. That in this case 3 plus 2 minus 1, that is 4. 3 plus 2 minus 1, that is 4. Length will be 4. So only we will get 4 non-zero values of Yn. All other values will be 0. So in this way we can check that what we are getting and what is the length of the resultant signal Yn, which is convolution of Xn and Hn. So this is the convolution sum, and we have seen one example on. So what we have seen today, we have seen how to represent a general discrete time signal Xn, any general discrete time signal Xn in terms of unit impulse signal, that is delta n, that we have seen, and how to find convolution sum. Okay, and we have seen one example. Also we have observed the length of the convolution signal, compound signal, that is we have seen any signal, discrete time signal Xn as xk delta n minus k minus infinity to infinity. That we have seen. Any general signal, arbitrary signal Xn can be represented in terms of unit impulse signal delta n, and convolution sum Yn is written as Xn star Hn, and it is defined as summation k minus infinity to infinity x k h n minus k, and length of signal, if Xn is of length N1, Hn is of length N2, then Xn star Hn, calling as Yn, that will have length N1 plus N2 minus 1. So that we have seen today. That's all. Thank you. Stop here.